Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and this is video 14 in our series Once Upon a Time, which is our mini album. What you're going to need, hopefully we're going to finish our book up in this video. What you're going to need that we didn't finish in video 13 is your centerpiece that we made in video 12 that's going to hold all of our book pages. Then we're going to need our inside papers for inside our cover. Now sometimes, most of the time, mini photo albums are going to have some sort of a feature like a waterfall or something on the front and the back, a place for you, extra space for you to put photos. Our book turned out to be more of a storybook, even though it has some places for some photos. So I am not going to put a feature in the front and the back. You are welcome to. There's a lot of my previous videos that show how to make waterfalls and expandable pockets, which is a good idea. And some other features that you might want to put on the inside cover of a book like this. This particular one, like I said, is not going to have one of those features. I did take two of the pages that I had left that matched, that were of the prints. We're using, these papers are a paper pad called Once Upon a Time by Die Cuts with a View, and it's actually on sale on Amazon right now. This is August of 2021 for, I believe, Once Upon a Time is on sale for $12. It's amazing. There's 48 pages in the thing. So the other thing I want to let you know before we get started is that if you want the step-by-step instructions, and I mean step-by-step instructions on how we made this wonderful book, then you can go over to the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. All the links will be below, and sign up over there. And once you're a member of the group, PDFs of almost all of the YouTube tutorials that I've made have PDFs that go with them, and they're free, and you can download them over there. Okay, so enough of that. Now what you're going to need, like I said, is the papers, the centerpieces, and all of our pages. Okay, we've got 5 pages, or 5 quote-unquote tubes, and that's going to give us 5 pages, 10 pages, but 5 tubes. Now, there's also something to consider. Since these are tubes, they are open all the way through. Let me see if you can see that, all the way through to the other side. You can glue these shut. You can leave them as pockets, or you can leave them as pockets and put photo album papers in there. So that is totally up to you, whichever you want to do. Let's make sure that our pages are in order. They are. And let's make sure they are right side up. Okay. This one is correct. This one is correct. Looks like I just had that one sideways. This one is correct. Okay, so we've got all these in the right order. Okay, so let's set these aside. Let's set these aside. Now, let's glue this in. I'm going to turn this over, and you're going to glue all of the flat part right up to that extra fold where the 2 inches is, which is here on this one. You're going to glue all of this so that it is glued to here. Now, you want to use a lot of glue. I don't know if you remember, you have to excuse my voice. I've lost my voice again, or still, and I'm going to be sniffling because it's an allergy thing. If you remember in video 13, I showed you in my previous book, and I don't think I held it over far enough for you to see, but right here in the middle, these pages are loose here, where the spines are glued in. Let me drink some pop and see if I can get my voice back a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to have to put some glue in here at the top and the bottom and hope that's enough. Your pages are heavy, so remember that when you're doing your glue for this section. Now, some people will use two-sided tape and then put glue over it. In this particular case, that might even be the best way to go. I've never worked with two-sided tape. I don't own any two-sided tape. So I'm just going to put a whole heck of a lot of this Fabri-Tac on here. I have to wait for our air bubble to come out. And there it goes. So we're going to start, make sure we get along the edges. Remember, we just want to go to the fold. Now we are going to glue these other sides down, but I want to wait until we get this leg down, and then we'll come back and glue them on. I want to make sure where all this weight is has a lot of glue. This opening isn't very big, so it's taken me a minute to get all this glue on here. And this is tall enough. Oh, I might want to mention that instead of 8 inches, because of the flap or the overlap when we glued the tube together, it makes the opening a little bit narrower. And so, yes, that's a lot of glue. And so I made this 7 7/8. So we're going to flip it over and we're going to center it. Darn it. I almost said a bad word. And we're going to center it top to bottom. And we're going to glue it down. And we're going to take our dry wet wipe. See if we can get this up. Make sure that you get all of it glued down. Okay. Make sure that you don't move it while you're gluing it down. If you want, you could put one more of these here, but I wanted to have mine black. We don't want to glue the pages on here while this is wet. I'm going to show you a couple of pages, and then I'm going to put you on hold and put the rest of the pages in. Because once you know how to do it, then you know how to do it. Then I'll come back with them finished. Okay, now we're going to put glue on here. I know this seems like a silly way to do it, but there's so much glue that I didn't want it to dry before we could get all of it glued down. Now, this isn't structural, this is decorative, so we can do around the edges and make sure that it stays down. But we don't have to go crazy like we did with the other. You do want to go as close to the edges as you can without making a big mess. Most of this is going to be covered by your paper. This end paper, I mean. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that I have to move this forward to get it on the camera. I'm not used to working this far away from myself. So we're going to get this glued down. I guess I could hum a tune while we're doing this, except for I cannot sing, and I cannot hum, and I have totally lost my voice. So, due to these minor details, I will just continue speaking or concentrate and be quiet, which I know that you guys know it's hard for me to do. And I about made a little squealing noise because my dog just walked up and stuck his cold nose on my bare leg. Not that they're completely bare, but I'm wearing shorts because it's hot out. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue eraser and get that off. Move this around. If you don't have a glue eraser, run online and get one immediately. They feel weird. They're rubber erasers, but somehow they pick up glue. Where just a regular pencil eraser will not. You can do this again to get your pages to turn better. Once you know everything is glued in. And you do want to make sure all this glue is dry. You're going to want to re-crease your paper. Just do it slowly. You don't have to go crazy. Because now that you have this second paper on, your crease lines up with your fold if you've done it correctly. And remember, your book page or your book cover doesn't really need to go past 90 degrees. So let's slowly fold this one up. Give its crease kind of a chance to get used to folding. Now we're going to have to decide which side we want to be up. Looks like I might want to do a little bit here with the eraser. Not sure exactly how far that paper's going to go up. Hopefully it's going to cover the seam. Okay. Now on here you'll notice on this one there's a little diagonal cut on either one. Because I was having trouble sliding the page down, I had cut a little diagonal piece, which actually did work, because that's where your where we glued our tube together is. So we're going to go ahead and put these down. Now remember, if you have a picture, make sure that you put the picture on the correct way. Okay. And remember about your fold. So you're going to glue it over, and you're going to glue it centered. Okay. That's going to look nice. I'm going to put one over here. Let's do this one first. You can see I marked it as the top. Whoops. I just glued string to myself. This is not structural either, but we do want to make sure that it's glued down well. Remember, when you smush it down, it spreads the glue out. Okay, this is our top. Remember where our crease is. We want to center it top and bottom. We want to get our dry wet wipe in case there's a little bit of glue that comes out. Remember, we can also go after it with our glue eraser, but if we can get it and not have to use it, then that's good too. Okay. And we're going to put our back one on. Okay, we're getting close to that 30-minute mark. I ordered a new laptop, so hopefully we won't have this problem with my computer not transferring. It's not that it won't record longer than 30 minutes. It will. But for some reason, a file that size, bigger than a file that's 30 minutes long creates, will not transfer over to my my little data card that I use to carry the file back and forth. I could put it up in OneDrive. It takes forever. Or I can actually email it to myself, which I've done, and that takes forever. You have to wait for the file to upload. Okay. Now, here's the top. So let's make sure we put this in right side up, compare it to the other one. Okay. Let's remember our fold. Put it in straight and center it. I'm going to stand up for a minute, kind of make sure it's even with that, even though all your pages are going to go in between. Okay. This is only 20 minutes, but it's going to take a few minutes to do the pages, and I do need to put some more glue in my glue bottle. So I'm going to put you on hold for just a minute. We're going to start a new video, so we've got a full 30 minutes. And then we're going to finish this up. Okay? All right. I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, we're back. Guess what? Here I am. Put the pages in. We got the thing in. We're all done. Guess what we haven't done? The cover. So we're going to have another couple of videos. Now, this is what I want to show you. Remember when I said to slowly do the pages or do the folds, and they don't have to go past 90 degrees. When I was folding this, the paper cracked right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me. You see it right there? Right here. And so the paper cracked, which is basically kind of torn. So we're going to definitely have to put something. Let me see if you can see it right here. Right there. I'm very upset over this. I did not want to have to wrap anything around. Oh, it did it down here too. But we're definitely going to have to wrap something or put something along here on the front and the back to cover this up. I have one page left of the Once Upon a Time paper that I'm going to put on the cover, and I was planning on doing some sort of decoration, but I wasn't really sure what. I don't know. So it's actually going to be a little bit of time once we put the pages in before we decorate the cover. I've also gotten a little bit of glue on here. I'm just very disappointed in myself that I wasn't more careful. It's only done it on the front. Or actually it's the back, so you have to be careful. We've got a directional picture here, so we have to remember when we put our pages in to be very careful to not put them in upside down. Okay, to put our pages in, kind of fold these back. They're still too stiff as far as I'm concerned. I'm pushing fairly hard to do this. I want the pages to be able to fold easily or turn easily. So you see when I push this, you see how this comes up. So once I put the pages on, I will probably keep working it back and forth by turning the pages. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to check and make sure that it fits. I'm going to open it to the tube. Remember, if you have any features that are open on the edge, that you're not gluing to the feature and instead of the center of the tube. Okay. So let's check it. Now this one's definitely going to fit because I cut those little notches out on the edges. You see it fits. We don't want it all the way down, but we do want it most of the way down. So let's remove it, and we're going to glue it on both sides. So let's fold it back this way. And we're going to put the glue on, and we're going to put a fairly good amount of glue. This is structural. I'm not using the tape and the glue, just using glue. And you're going to have to hold this on just a little a little while the glue grabs. Now we're going to have to do it on this side, so we have to be careful to not lay that down flat and get glue on our cover. Okay. Lots of glue. Now we're going to open this up again. Open it up. Slide it down. And then we're going to hold it. Hold it up just a little bit. Make sure it's even though. You don't want your pages to be crooked. And you're going to hold it on until the glue grabs it. Just going to be a little bit. You want to make sure the glue is stuck on there on both sides. You want to make sure, like I said, your page is even. If you can still move it, then your glue is not dry enough to let go. Okay. Then we can lay it down. Make sure our glue is stuck on this side. Double check. And it's going to be damp still in the middle for a little bit. Okay, now we're going to repeat this for each page. I'm going to show you page 2 so that you can see it a couple times. I forgot to fill my glue. For some reason, my feet are swollen up like sausages. Probably the heat. I had some popcorn last night. Maybe it's the salt. I like a lot of salt on my popcorn. So this is a tip. Do not put a lot of salt on your popcorn and then sit on your crafting stool. Okay. Let's get page 2. Make sure that it's right. Oops. Make sure that it's right side up. Okay, I can take this off while I glue it on, but make sure it's right side up. Open the tube. Make sure that it slides. I forgot to make sure ahead of time, didn't I? Slide it down on there. There we go. Doesn't have to go all the way exactly. Make sure you hold it. Make sure it's level. And I'm running my fingers down both sides. It's kind of hard to see, probably, to make sure the glue is sticking all the way across. I'm holding it to make sure that it doesn't slide. So the glue grabs. If you try to move it up and down and you can't, then the glue has grabbed. You still want to hold it with Fabri-Tac, or Fabri-Fix, I think is the other word for it. If it's cold, if you could feel it cold through there, then you know it's not dry. I don't know how I discovered that, but I did. Okay, so that's all you do for the pages. Second page, and you just lay it down, and then you're ready for the next. You'll see why I wanted them to fold better, because you see how this is a little bit up like that. So yeah, and that one can still slide a little bit. Maybe I can work it a little bit more while it's drying. A bit of glue came out. Eventually, as you work it, then the page will lay down farther. Alright, I just don't want to do it too much now because the glue is still damp. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and the first one dry. And then I'll come back and I'll do each one of the others. And it's 3 more, and then we'll be done. And we'll be done with the inside of the book, unless you're going to do more. You know, there's a lot of glitter on here. You know, it might not be bad if you put a little bit here. And if you're good at drawing, you know, like oval with points. And some little round, almost like the fleur-de-lis in this picture. If you're good at drawing. And then you could glitter it in each corner, but I'm not, so I'm not going to ruin it by doing that. Okay. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, and when we come back, I will have all of the pages glued in. Okay? All right, I'll see you in just a second. Okay, I'm back. Let's go ahead and do our last page. See if I can see here. Make sure that it's open. My dog's tummy just went. Okay, and we're going to glue it on, just like we did the others. As you can see, I did 2 more. I'm going to glue this on. While I was gone, I also had a toasted tomato sandwich. It was very good. There's this seasoning that my friend told me about, and it's called Everything Bagel. So it's everything that you can think of that you put on a bagel, right? Like garlic and sesame seed and poppy seeds and I don't know, other good stuff, and all in one seasoning. And you put it on a tomato sandwich, and it's just amazing. That's all I've got to say. It's amazing. Okay, so we're going to slide this on. There we go. We're going to hold it on. We've got our whole story gone here. Okay, I think we got that held on. That was just me going off into space thinking about the story of the book. I'm sorry about that. That was kind of bizarre, wasn't it? It's just a moment of silence for the completion of the inside of the book, I guess. All right, so now you see as the additional pages have gotten on there and the weight has gone over, then the pages they're laying flat now. Okay, so that's it for the inside. We've got our Once Upon a Time, we've got Castle, and we've got our Prince. And then he went to see the Pegasus, and then sent him to the fairies, and then he went to the mermaids. They sent him to the dragon sent him to the wizard, the court wizard, and the dragon and the prince flew using their map, and he found the princess, and they lived happily ever after. And here's our back cover. And so that's that on the inside. We have all of that done. Now we have to do is the outside, and we'll cover that in the next several videos. I'm not really sure what we're going to do yet, so I'm not sure exactly how many videos it's going to take, and I'm going to try to do something a little bit different, so we'll see how it goes. I may record things and then not even get to use them because they end up not being workable. So I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.